I'm going to do my best. I'm walking the dogs, as you can see, and walking through the forest. I was just thinking of a very relevant point. It's a point on happiness, basically, and depression, and what the difference is between the two of them. And I just come to an amazing realization while walking through the forest. I've been doing a lot of really deep soul searching, and I've come up with a lot of amazing answers to stuff at the moment. So the difference between happiness and sadness, well, they're both emotions as such, which we all know, stating the obvious. Fundamentally, there is a mass difference between happiness and sadness, and that's why sadness is a lot easier obtainable than happiness. Sadness is easier to make a practice of. I'll explain why. And happiness is a lot harder to make a practice of because of the fundamentals of how it's formed. See, we can always obtain, as we would put it, laughter by going to a comedy. Yeah? So we could obtain laughter by going to a comedy. But is laughter really happiness? You can be happy you're there, but happiness to me is different. Happiness is, to me, a bit like saying contentment, enlightened happiness. Let's instead of saying enlightened from now on, let's just start saying, I wanna get to happiness, because that's what I prayed for as a young child. I used to pray for ultimate happiness and ultimate love. That's all I wanted to know, and I had to realize what I had to do is find that ultimate happiness and ultimate love in myself first, because I was searching for it everywhere else in the world, and I come to a realization that it was exactly where I started. No matter where I go, wherever I be, I'm very content where I am in my life at the moment. I live in a beautiful area of Sweden called Oceansvik. It's right in the High Coast National Park area. It's beautiful, perfect for the dogs. Just look at this. I'm walking. No noise. That took me a little while to get used to. No noise. Amazing. Anyway, so, nearly fell over. That would have been funny, wouldn't it? So basically, differences between happiness and sadness is generally its content, because happiness is a lot darker. As we think of something that's darker, or how some people they describe sadness, depression as weight, it has a kind of heavy texture to it. They never describe it as light and fluffy and easy to manipulate, because if it was all of those things, it would be very easy to move it, wouldn't it? See, the density of depression and unhappiness is a lot more substantiated practice to be able to get it to that point. So we have to practice to be depressed, realistically. And I know it sounds crazy, but when we get it, we don't know what to do about it. So we try to worry about it and find out where it came from and how it affects us and why have I got this feeling? There must be something wrong in my brain. And then you convince yourself there's something wrong in your brain. And if you convince yourself that, then you think you've got a medical depression. Then you seek heavier medication. So really, what is medical depression? Well, medical depression, as they call it, is basically medicated depression. I'm not saying to everybody to come off their medication. I believe there is a time and a place, and if you really are suicidal and a medication stops you from killing yourself and you come out the other side of that medication enlightened and found yourself, then all good for you. But if you come out the other side of that even more lost than when you went in, then obviously it's not working for you, is it? So think of the density of depression, how heavy it looks in your mind, how thick, how dense it is. Now, on the opposite hand, think of a time of your life where you're really happy, like when you first learned how to ride a push bike when you were a kid, or your team won the cup when you were playing football or rugby in school, or you were a fast runner and you won a race, or you won some sort of competition and you didn't think you were going to win it and you proved everybody wrong how fucking clever you were. Yeah, think of those little moments in your life and think of how they felt, how blissful they felt. Now, is there any weight to that? No. It's light, it's fluffy, it's movable. Usually it's moving, it has brighter colours in it, and it has a beautiful essence about it. Where the sad stuff is a lot more mucky, dense, dark, concrete, iron, whatever you want to describe it as, yeah? So it's a lot easier to grip onto something that's more substantiated and solid like that, but when it comes to something light and fluffy and almost could slip through our fingers, it's a lot harder to hang on to happiness, and that's where we go wrong. We don't hang on to happiness, you become the happiness. Problem is, when you get a bit of happiness, you try and cling to it, and the moment you grip to it, that's the depression. The depression is the heavy grip that you put onto stuff. As soon as you grip it, you become upset because you haven't been able to grip it, and that gives you the reinforcement in the depression. So it's a backwards and forwards fucking bounce, and slowly but surely you come to the realization that we really haven't been taught fuck all in school. We haven't taught fuck all in life. We've had to go out there and find it ourselves, and we've got to this point where we're going to break. And I'm talking from personal experience here. This is just not, you know, stuff I'm making up. And after all of that, come on, Thelma, come on. After all of that, you eventually get some amazing realization that you can no longer go on the way you are, and everything must change. Jack, this way. He always wants to go the wrong way, this boy does. Come on. There we go, got him. So basically, with that knowledge you've gained through your life, eventually you have this kind of amazing realization. Sorry, I'm moving around a lot, but the lead's getting a bit caught up. Go on, Miley, go. If you don't go, I can't get through, can I? Right, there we go. That's where it's caught. And from that, you know, you think you're getting somewhere, and then you kind of temporarily believe in this newfound knowledge, and then slowly you slip back into your old habits, and then it all becomes shit again, and then so on and so forth. And slowly but surely you get better and better at getting yourself out of the hole, or you don't, and you rely more and more on medication and blame it on 1,001 things. And really the only person that can actually change that depression, sadly, is the one in the mirror. Doctors are not going to fucking help you. Nobody's going to get you out of that depression. If you're overweight, feeling like shit, eating crap food, hooray, there we go, you've got your result. The government has control of you, and you've lost all of your rights because now you're a dependent person on other people around you. You hate yourself for it, so you eat more, you fucking get more depressed, and so on and so forth, yeah? I understand all of this. I've got people in my lives, friends in my lives, everybody all around us. Some people it's drugs, some people it's eating, some people it's alcohol. Believe you me, I've seen it fucking all. And every one of them is exactly the same excuse. Something out of their life they can't control, according to them. Something in their life they have no control over. And that's why they have to numb themselves, instead of gaining control over whatever they were thinking about, so they can make that big change. Then it gets easier instead of harder. Come on, guys. Come on, quick. Oh, it's beautiful down here. Come on in, guys, quick. There's the truth. Don't jump, Milo. Don't come on. Come on. Come on. Mush, mush, quick. It's starting to rain a bit. So, the valid point is, to become happy, or happiness as such, you have to remove all of the shit and the control in your life, and you have to kind of give in to the process and just take a look in the mirror and forgive yourself for your fucking shit that you've done to yourself, and forgive yourself for the crap that you've caused or the way you feel. Because you know what? We're not defined by just our memories. We're defined by our actions of how we actually live in that moment. We're defined by the actions of what we do on a daily basis. So you might criticize me for doing this video, and you might think, what a dick. You know what? Good for you. But I'm here doing it. And I'm playing my heart on the line, and I'm trying to talk to people and help them. And you can criticize if you want to, or you can like. To be honest with you, I don't really care. That's up to you, innit? It's your life, it's your torture, it's your pain, how you feel. If you want to project that onto somebody else, me, and that makes you feel better for yourself, good on you. Because you know what? It's still your pain. If I don't have to receive it, if you bought me a gift and I didn't want it, and I give it back to you, it's still your gift. What are you going to do with it then? So that's what you got to think about. You give people hate and pain and shit and all that crap, and they don't receive it, it just goes back on yourself. And that's karma. That's what it's all about. And even if they do receive it, you still suffer from it, because that's just the way it is. So, I just want to say to you, this is my birthday. I'm 47 years old. I was born in South Wales. in Caerphilly Miners Hospital, and I wanted to share a bit of the day I was born with everybody, because I'm walking with my dogs, and this is one of the best birthday presents in the world for me to be out here doing this. So I want to send you all some love and hope you like my message, and you all have a good day. Respect.